Why I hate lifting but love bodybuilding. Well, here's the thing. I've realized that accidentally, recently, in the last maybe 6 months, I became a little bit too results orientated and not enough process orientated. I was chasing the end result way too much and I wasn't really enjoying the journey there. You know what they say? The man who loves walking, every time, you know what's funny? I've I've tried to make this video before, and every time I go to say this exact quote, I stumble on my words. Okay, here's what I try to say. The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. And I accidentally became the guy who loves the destination. In terms of lifting and hitting gym, what does that mean? That means that I became the guy who loves sort of the end result too much and not the process enough. Meaning, I just wanted to be jacked so much. And I thought that I'd be satisfied once I'm jacked and once I've built muscle. But I didn't really enjoy the process of lifting the weights, right? I didn't really enjoy the process of going to the gym, doing the hard sets, pushing to failure. And recently I've done a little self-analysis and I realized why. The reason being is because I became a little bit too numbers focused. I became a little bit too performance focused. I cared so much about the numbers I was lifting. The numbers in terms of the weight I was lifting, in terms of how many reps, in terms of how that compared to the weight and the reps that I done last week. And so I found myself in a bubble where I cared so much about the week-to-week performance because I wrongfully thought that that performance will fast-track me to my dream physique, the dream physique being the destination, right? However, in the process of trying to optimize my performance week to week, I lost the fun aspect of training. I lost the fun aspect I had when I was 16, when I would just go to the gym, have absolutely no idea what weights I lifted last week, have absolutely no idea what order to do, what exercises. But instead, I just had a lot of fun. I just loved it. I would just hop on any machine that's free, do any random amount of reps, go to failure, get a pump. And when I'm satisfied, I'd call it a day. But that element of fun in recent days, I've lost it because I've cared so much about my performance in the gym and my numbers because I, like we said, wrongfully thought that caring about performance and numbers to so much detail that I did would get me to my jacked physique quicker. Turns out that isn't the case because losing, or a better word here, sacrificing all of the fun of lifting, sacrificing all of the fun of the process to try and make optimal progress is a horrible way to go, bro. Like, you're just going to be in the gym dreading what you do. You're going to be in the gym copying what the science-based bros tell you because, you know, science is always right and science is the best way to do things. And you're just going to hate lifting and you're going to resent it like me. So avoid the mistake I made and have some fun with your lifting, right? So here's some practical steps I've taken to have fun with my lifting, right? The simplest one is I stopped doing the 4 to 8 rep range for lifts that I personally didn't like in the 4 to 8 rep range. So let me tell you how I got around this 4 to 8 rep range shit, right? So what ended up happening was I consumed so much science-based content creators on Instagram and YouTube, like, you know, Paul Carter, for example. And a lot of the science says that, you know, if you do the 4 to 8 rep range, then you get your 5 effective reps that build muscle within that rep range. And so there's no need to go above reps of 10, right? And the way I interpreted that is, okay, cool, 4 to 8 rep range, that must be the quickest way to my destination. That must be the quickest way to my gains. So then I incorporate the 4 to 8 rep range for everything. For isolation lifts like preacher curls, for compounds like cable rows, for literally everything. Because I thought that's the quickest way to get back to my destination. But what ended up happening was in that process, I realized that the 4 to 8 rep range, for some lifts, for me personally, this might not be for you, but for me personally, was just garbage. Like rows, for example, cable rows, I don't like the 4 to 8 rep range. I just don't. I don't really feel my back well enough. Instead, I prefer the 10 to 15 rep range. And doing cable rows in the 10 to 15 rep range is what truly makes me happy. That's what I look forward to, and that's what would have me enjoying the process. But what I done, and this is the mistake to avoid, is I wouldn't do the 10 to 15 rep range, despite the fact that it's good for me, because, the 4 to 8 is more optimal. The 4 to 8 will get me to my destination quicker, right? And so what I realized is, listen, I need to stop consuming so much content and listening to so many guys and just do what works for me. Now, of course, there is an element of, gaining knowledge. There is benefit in consuming other people's content who are bigger than you and smarter than you. But you can't copy it verbatim. You can't do exactly what everyone else does without even caring or thinking about what you prefer, what works well for you, right? And so you might hear what I'm saying now and you might rebuke back against it and think, yeah, but hold on, Omar, like, surely let's optimize things, right? Let's do the 4 to 8 rep range because that's the best way to do things. That's true, but it's not the only way. And here's a quick little side point I want to share. When it comes to bodybuilding, the beauty of bodybuilding is that there are many ways to build muscle. That means that we can build muscle using low reps or high reps or medium reps. We can build muscle using low weight or heavy weight or medium weight. We can build muscle using barbells or machines or a combination of both, or maybe cables only, or maybe we can use 90% of our 1 rep max or 85 or 84. Like, there's all these different options for how to build muscle. And this is in comparison to strength sports. When it comes to strength sports like powerlifting or Olympic weightlifting, those guys have to use heavy weight because that's their sport. Like, their sport is all about 1 rep max. They have to use a heavy weight and they have to use a barbell. Us guys in bodybuilding, we are not confined to one singular equipment piece, right? We don't just have to use a barbell. We are not confined to certain percentages of 1 rep max. Like, we don't just have to lift with, 90% plus a 1 rep max. Like, no, we got loads of freedom. We can use machines or cables or free weights or a combination of both. We can use 70% of our 1 rep max or 90 or 83 or 54. Like, we got so many options, right? So the point I'm making here is, yes, the 4 to 8 rep range might be the best. It might be ideal. Even then, that's questionable. But that's not to say that that's the only way to do things. That's not to say that the 10 to 15 rep range won't work. And so what I realize is I need to just stop consuming other guys' content. I need to have a bit more of an open mind and sort of look myself in the mirror and say, what do you like doing, bro? Yeah? You in the mirror, how do you like to lift? Oh, you like to lift in the 10 to 15 rep range for cable rows? Go ahead, bro. You're not going to be behind on gains. You're not going to waste time because you're doing reps over, because you're doing sets with reps over 10. Like, no, bro. Like I just explained, the beauty of bodybuilding is we can do it in a multiple of different ways. So essentially, I need to just let loose a little bit. Stop caring about the numbers so much. Stop trying to optimize and follow the science-based bros. And instead, just do what I enjoy a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, what I enjoy is still right. The 10 to 15 rep range still works. The 10 to 20 rep range still works. So let me stop doing what other guys are doing just because they're bigger or just because they're the science-based guys or just because new evidence comes out. And instead, let me do what I like to do a little bit more so that I can enjoy the process and actually be excited to go to the gym. So moral of the story is I accidentally put myself in a position where I didn't really like lifting that much in recent weeks. But now I've realized why. Because I was doing a bunch of bullshit that I didn't actually like just because I thought that bullshit would get me to my results quicker. But then I realized it's not about getting to the results quicker. It's about enjoying the process there. Remember, the man who loves the... Again, I messed it up, bro. See, I hate that quote. No, I love that quote, but I hate delivering it. Let's try that again. I'm going to end the video on a quote so that the video ends with like a dramatic exit. The man who loves walking will always walk further than the man who loves the destination. Fucked it up again. Anyway, love.